BassResinator here. Hobby Lobby had these gumball, fake gumball containers. It's all glass, that's why it's fake, and there's no way to put money in and get the little thing to coin to operate and get your candy out. The lid had a rubber seal that I took off because I'm going to coat this with some resin, but I'm going to do it in this way. And I have this tape on here so that if I don't want to get on this white. This white I'm going to end up painting green or brown so that it'll look like the ground. And I'm going to use orange mica powder in some resin and then put it on there. And I don't know if I want to just, no, I'm not going to sit here and twirl it for, I'm going to use the 1 hour resin. I'm not going to go for an hour twisting and twisting and twisting. And I don't have a tumble machine, tumbler maker type of thingy to do that. So I'm probably going to set this, I'm trying to figure out what type of a mold I have that I could put that in. That would be big enough, because I'm gonna actually mix up the resin and wait for a while before I put it on there, so it's really nice and thick and rich and chocolate, yeah, so that I'll be able to put it on like I want. I will spray this with alcohol. I took the lid and it was white. Let me move this out the way. It was white, and I sanded some. Now this, I'm also going to do orange, but I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to put some UV resin around the edge so that I can have it's not going to go very far anyway, but I've got some colored UV resin, orange, from Let's Resin. And so I'm just going to go around the edge. And then this little knobby here, I'm going to do green. But I scratched it so that the resin will stick on there a little bit better. You know what? I really need to go around this edge here. I'll do a little bit at a time. We'll just keep doing this all the way around. Then I'll stick it under the lamp. I'm more than halfway done. Stop! Don't run over the edge. I may have to use... I got a deburring tool. I may have to use that on that edge, or I might just leave it. Two more, and I will be done with this edge. And this is the light orange. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, now I also have regular orange. That was light orange. No, that's not going to do it. I was hoping that would cover up that color of where I scratched it. Okay, well, I will take care of that when the time comes with the mica powder in the resin. Okay, I'm going to stick this under the lamp. I'll be right back. Since I was not getting the opacity that I wanted, I changed my mind on how I'm going to approach this. Instead of dumping resin on top, wow, just got you out of the picture. Here, let me do it this way. There we go. Wow. I'm going to use regular resin, UV resin, and I'm not going to cure it very long at all. So I'm going to leave it so it's still kind of tacky. And then I'm going to dust it with mica powder. And hopefully that'll stick. If I can get it before it goes over the edge, I'll be doing real good. Okay, let me feel the cured. Okay, that's still tacky. Ha 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 ha. Now I'm going to use my Let's Resin Orange mica. Oh, look at that. That was just running right on over there. Goodness. Sorry about that. Bumped the edge. Hope this works. We'll find out. Doesn't look like it. I mean, it is more opaque. You know, what if I just go in? No. Look at that, I got some coming all the way over the edge. Maybe I'll do this, and then I'll put other resin over the top of it. Maybe this will help darken it up enough to where you won't see that dark area where I sanded it. I didn't want just straight glass because I didn't think the resin would stick to it very well. When I did my, now this may sound kind of weird, when I did my toilet, the back of the toilet, I sanded it so that it would cling, that the resin would cling to it. And that worked. I mean, it's oranger, but not as orange as I wanted it to be. What is that spot right there? Bald. That's weird. Okay. Made a big mess here. I will keep this color out because I'm going to use it in the other resin. I will put this under the big lamp and cure it all up, and we'll see how we proceed from there. Okay, I have this mixed up. I've let it sit for a little while. So it's kind of on the thick side, but I just want to pour out a little bit and see how thick. It's running awfully fast. maybe if I just finger paint with it. You can still see those dark lines through there, or those dark areas, not lines, but they look sort of like lines, where I sanded that glass. You know what? If I do this all around to the edge and let this set up a little bit, and then put the rest of this on when it gets a little bit thicker. Wait another. I don't have much working time with this as it is. This is the 1 hour resin. But come back and put some more of it on there, and maybe it'll thicken it up and it'll cover those blank areas underneath. We'll try it. Can't hurt. Okay, wipe that off with a regular paper towel. Now I'm going to get a big wipe. Dun, dun, dun. Big wipes to the rescue. But not to the fescue. Fescue is a type of grass. Rescue is what big wipes do. Look at there. Clean as a whistle. It's wet because the thing is wet, but so I'll come back in another 5 minutes and we'll see what we can do. Hopefully this is not set up too much that I can't get it out of there. We'll see. But it's looking pretty. There's an air bubble right there. Okay, it's been 5, and that is really thick in there. Which is what I'm wanting. This is like cold molasses or cold honey. This is a cool effect if it stays like this. Of course, I know it's probably going to slide down a little bit, but Maybe if I go around with my finger now. Wow, this is thick. I don't know how much that stuff is actually going to come down. But by me doing this, giving it some texture, it may seem like a real pumpkin lid. I mean, a real pumpkin top. Then again, maybe it won't. You know, getting that glove cleaned off. Okay, well, there's that part. Let me think about the bottom part. And there are a couple bubbles I need to pop off of there real quick. It's awfully hard to do that with the glove on. Well, that's cool. Came out like I was expecting, but better. Okay. Well, this $4 container, it was on sale, may come out to be a really cool thing. We'll see. Okay, I'll be back later. Okay, the lid is all dried, all cured. And I did have a couple spots where it dripped over. Let's see, there's one and a couple here, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. When I put on the suction cup thing back on here, it'll help, but I still have to paint that top green. So I'm going to use Let's Resin Spring Green mica powder. I don't need very much at all, so I'm just going to mix up. Actually, what I'm going to do is mix up quite a bit. I say quite a bit, 6 ounces maybe, and I will take a little bit of that out and put it in a separate little thing like this, and I'll mix the green in, and then I will mix the orange in, and yeah, then I'll let that warm up, and I will do my experiment. I did find an old mold. This mold is a nice mold, except It was a cheap one. The bottom's all crusty. I say crusty. It's not glossy anymore. It's had some problems. So if I ever use this mold, I know I'm going to do a top coat because I have to, because that surface is nasty, unless I'm building it from the bottom up. So I'm going to mix up some resin now, so I will be back shortly. I have the resin mixed up. I'm going to let it sit for about 3 more minutes. Or maybe I won't. I think what I'm going to do here on the green is mixed up, but it's not warming up as fast as the orange, because the orange is deeper in a deeper cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit on it so that it can get started. And then I'll just wait a little bit longer. But you can see what I'm hoping, what I really want to have happen is to still be able to see into the jar, but I want it to have an orange appearance. So we've got a good start. You know what I could do here? I've got this silicone paddle tool that could come up. I did spray the glass with isopropyl alcohol, 91%. That's all we have in our stores around here. If I can just get it to where all these surfaces are covered, then when I come back and pour some more in a little bit, go right over that. Make it a little bit thicker. It's already acting awfully thick right in there. Go around a little bit more. Well, that's, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really pretty. And that second time around, it coated it very nicely. So good thing I went around with that little paddle. And this is warming up in this cup rather nicely. Now what I will do with the rest of this resin in here is I will cut it, and I will be able to use those pieces in other projects that I'm going to be doing. On down the road. And I may leave this white on this bottom, or I may paint it green like I talked about, but haven't made up my mind on that one yet. One more dousing. Yay! But I don't know why this thing is wanting to tip off. I got it on a little cup. I'm going to end up having to trim off those, I was going to call it downspouts, those little pieces that are hanging down. That's okay. If you're in Louisiana, you could say, it's okay by me if it's okay by you. Yeah. It's still not as thick as I would like it to be. For the last one. Stop tilting. Actually, this green is not all that warm, but it's gelled up enough to where I'm able to paint it on. Okay, another round with the orange. That is a really pretty color orange. And this green is sort of coming off the edges a little bit. If I can get it to stay on top of that a little bit better. I don't mind it going down a little bit. I just don't want it going all over. This way it looks like the stem has a little bit of a leaf. And if I can get this to get real stringy, I could make it look like part of a pumpkin vine, huh? What do you think there? Yes or no? Can't hear you. You got to talk louder to go through the computer and get on the internet. Okay, just sit here and let it cure. Okay, the jar cured up, and while it was curing, I went around with that silicone spatula and cleaned off the edge so it's nice and clean. But you can see I've drawn a bunch of stuff. What I've got out here are some paints. And so I'm going to take this to another room and I'm going to paint. But let me just show you. Down here on the bottom part, I'm going to paint brown. And then these are supposed to be, oh, I'm talking. Down on this bottom part, I'm going to paint brown. In these areas, I'm going to paint green. These are going to be vines. And I'm going to leave the 5 cents and the little handle, and I'm going to paint those silver, actually with a marker. But what I'm going to do after I get this painted is I'm going to go over sections of it with UV resin to cause depth. I think that'll be really cool. So I'm not going to show you my painting because my painting ability is not all that great. But you can sort of see what I'm wanting to do around there. Okay, the lid came out really cool. And that I was able to make it twirl around like a little vine. But now, here is the fun part. Putting the gasket back on there. So that it'll go right on the top. I said it'd go right on the top. Let me show you what I'm doing without making too big of a mess. Ah. Come on, stay up there. Hey, there we go. So it does have a ceiling, not like up there, not that type of a ceiling, but it does have a seal, S-E-A-L, sealing ability to keep things relatively fresh. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool. so, and I think down on the bottom, I'm going to put a cork so it doesn't just slide around on the countertop or wherever you have it. Anyway, I'll put that over to the side. The green that I had using for the painting, and it came out of that little thing. I've got one from another job that I was working on, and so I'll keep those. Who knows when I'll need them, but they're kind of cool. This chunk, you know, if I need like a moon type of a thing on a wall hanging. Oh, I want to show you this. That silicone spatula thing. The resin just pulled off of that real nice and neat. So set that over on the side. But this, yeah, I might be able to use it. Don't know what, but I'm not going to throw it away. Resin's too expensive to just chunk. Okay, so I'm going to take this to another room and paint. Like I said, you don't need to see me paint, but I've got these for the veins of the leaves. I've got this dark viridian. It's kind of a greenish blue, and green line for the leaves down the middle of the leaves, and maybe the vine with a viridian, and the ground with the burnt umber. So yeah, I'll take that and then I'll let that dry, and then I'll come back and show you the process of putting on UV resin. And then after I put the UV resin on certain spots, I'm going to take it out and also do the markers on the 5 cent and the little twisty. It's supposed to be a, you know, and it'll pop open. But I'm going to take it out afterwards, and to lock that acrylic paint in, I'm going to spray it with a varnish. I'll have to put something over. I don't know if varnish on resin would do good, so probably will have to cover the top part when I spray it, or just spray down. Yeah, but that'll keep it waterproof. Okay, I will get back to you later. Got it all painted, and I got the cork on the bottom. I'll show you still pictures of that at the end. So yeah, there's various ways to do this. You can put paper or something down on this bottom section so you don't have to fill it up with as many sweets, or you can just fill the whole thing up. That's up to you. I say sweets because it reminds me of something that would contain sweets. But yeah, so instead of it being a pumpkin eater, it's a pumpkin treater. And I did get a coat of varnish on that after the paint all dried. So yeah, let me show you. Got a nice glossy finish. Yep, cool. Now what would be really cool if I had a doll of Cinderella and stick her inside and then paint a little mouse on the outside and some wheels coming on from that pumpkin. Maybe that's just going too far. But if anybody else wants to give that a try, go for it. Yep. Top looks cool. Bottom looks cool. The whole thing looks cool. And it is transparent enough that you can see stuff inside there. So, cool. So, subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hanging out with me and putting up with all my crazy stuff. Yeah, there are a lot of ideas going around in my head. I have some other ones of these, different colors. Like this one was a white one to begin with. I've got 2 black ones and a pink one. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with them, but there are all kinds of possibilities. One possibility is instead of using resin to begin with, is use pour paint and go over the top and let it run down, and that would be kind of cool too. So I don't know what all is going to happen. I don't know when I'll get around to those, but yeah, having fun with resin. So as subscribers, thank you. Mean a lot to me. We're getting close to 1,500. Come on, help me out there. Yeah, and if you have ideas that you would like me to consider for the 1,500th, let me know, and I will entertain them. So stick around for the stills, and we'll see you for the next one. Toodaloo.